This is the beginning of the end of cash as we know it, as we are seeing the escalation of war against the legal tender. I mean, it's not surprising to see, but at the same time, you gotta ask yourself, what the actual heck is going on here? Now, if we go by what's happened during the recent past few years, I'd say that everything is going according to plan.
If you walk into a store and they didn't want your cash, you're not alone. Businesses are banning cash. CBS 2's Jermont Terry is live with how the decision is being received. Jermont.
Erica, we are slowly getting used to grabbing our face coverings before stepping foot in any business, but it seems that cash is something that you can leave behind because fewer stores are accepting the green. As more people venture out this summer, there are clear signs telling you to mask up. Yet these signs are popping up too, asking customers not to use cash.
I was somewhere this morning and I saw a sign in a restaurant that said that.
Whether you're heading to the mall for a new outfit, shopping for groceries, or out for a snack, businesses across Illinois are opting to avoid cash.
I know cash does carry a lot of germs, so that is a good point.
I don't think it's that big of a deal to touch someone's cash or card.
Yet Rob Carr, CEO of the Illinois Retail Merchants Association, tells me businesses implemented this move strictly for COVID-19 concerns.
COVID isn't being used as an excuse. I mean, public health officials have said reduce touch.
I mean, I didn't see metal railings being removed from public places, and those things look like they can even, catch our fingerprints. But nope. If it's cash, then it's bad. I guess they want our response to physical cash and coins to be like, money? Ew. Okay, never doing that again, but I needed to make a point here. And it's not just happening here at home. It's happening all over the world. I mean, look at this. In Australia, more than 400 local bank branches within the past year have already been closed. I'm talking about brick and mortar branches here, guys. Now, you do know what's commonly connected to these physical branches, right? That's right, guys, ATMs. That's why it's not surprising to see the number of ATMs over there rapidly going down. I mean, just look at that. Within June of last year to the end of June this year, 700 cash machines have been removed from operation. Now, just for context and to give you guys an idea as to how few ATMs they have at the moment, there's only 6,000 left across the entire country. Now, think about that number just for a second. I want you guys to tell me that this is not a war on cash. But let's go to the like system here on YouTube, right? If you feel as if this transition to a cashless society is being jump-started by banks and ATMs closing, go ahead and smash the like button for the video. And while you guys are at it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on all notifications so that you don't miss out on the truth and, quite frankly, guys, information that other folks would be too scared to report on. Appreciate the love, you guys. But like I was saying, this is a global thing. It's not just with Australia. Flying on over to the UK, and would you look at that? Within roughly the past 18 months, 8,000, count them, 8,000 ATMs have disappeared in the UK. And not just that, but if there is an ATM around, 17% of people there are reporting that it's either out of cash or it's not even working. So much for those who started these ATM businesses, right? That ATM side hustle that you guys have been asking about. So anyway, the message is clear. We are transitioning to a cashless society, and unless people stand up against it, it's going to become an inevitability. Now, although the message that they're giving us doesn't match, they're saying that more people would prefer a world without cash. It's much safer, and there's no need to carry dirty bills and coins around. Do you guys believe them? Now, you might say, Ron, this is happening in the UK and Australia. Why are you hassling us for? Well, here's the neat FYI, guys. We've lost almost 20,000 working ATMs since the start of the pandemic, all the way to 2022. And just to kind of add a little bit of lemon salt solution to that injury, even though our own president has announced the end of the pandemic, those ATMs are still missing in action. Now, if you ask the experts, well, they're going to tell you that these machines aren't really going down in number, even though that they are. Now, with this footage, I want you guys to listen closely, all right? Because I swear that this interview is real.
From our perspective, we don't see a decline in the number of ATMs, at least not right now. There were some decline in the numbers back 2017, 18, early 2019. And I think much of that could be attributed to the facts that we had just gone through some massive migrations of chip cards, new Windows applications, and so forth. But, obviously all of our operators were kind of shut out during the pandemic. But looking at the industry as a whole right now in the U.S., we don't see an ongoing decline in the number of ATMs. You can certainly find a few operators that are reducing their fleets and all that, but there's actually a few studies out there right now that put the ATM growth rate for the industry globally at about 4.8, 4.9% through 2030, a little bit less in the US because it's a more mature market. But I don't really see how you can reconcile the statement that the ATM population is declining along with the analyst projections for that kind of growth that's out there.
So, David, that's really interesting because while you're telling us that it's increasing globally, more and more we're going to places that say that they are cashless. I know very often I won't even take my wallet. I just take my phone and pay for everything on that. So how are you reconciling what you say as an increase with what we also see as a decrease in people practically using cash?
Well, there's no doubt that there's been a decrease in the number of transactions that are being made in cash these days, and that's been happening for quite some time. We actually did a study on that when the Apple Pay application first came out. But bottom line is that there's more cash in circulation right now than there has ever been. And the amount of cash that's in circulation has been increasing. The amount of cash that people are taking from the ATMs are increasing, even though the number of withdrawals is actually decreasing. But all that still looks pretty good for cash. And 20% of all transactions out there are still being made in cash. And that's an increase over last year, actually, according to the Atlanta Fed.
So wait, the number of ATMs aren't going down? I mean, he even said that the cash circulation is growing, right? So how does he explain the number of withdrawals decreasing? How does that make sense? It's like you're gaining weight even though your clothes are starting to look bigger on you. You see what I'm trying to say here? Like the logic doesn't match up. And he said something about a study, right? Well, he might have missed the study where ATMs are expected to join the dinosaurs and become extinct by 2037. And the exact same thing goes with brick and mortar banks that are going to be joining them soon in 2041. So yeah, not sure which is which, but the fact of the matter is that, we're moving closer towards a world where cash isn't king. It's not even going to be on the board in a few years. But what's the point of this move, right? 4 letters, guys, CBDC. Because think about it. Where the heck are you going to get physical paper cash if there's no bank branches and ATMs, right? I mean, like seriously. Now, I want to go ahead and close things off with this message from the IMF, where they specifically say that they want to give unelected officials, meaning the WEF, the World Economic Forum, and the Fed, the power to control all money. Check this out.
The way we see it, CBDC has the potential to break barriers, to improve financial inclusion, at least in 3 aspects. The first aspect is that it can lower the hurdle for using money substantially for several groups. One group is those people without bank account. And another group will be those people without smartphone, because CBDC does not even require smartphone. Actually, the third group that CBDC can potentially help is those people without internet access, without phone, because CBDC can be stored in a store value card. So these are the potential group of people that CBDC can help. The second aspect that CBDC can help improve financial inclusion is because of its legal tender status. Because CBDC is an obligation of central bank. And the obligation of central bank is a legal tender in every country. So it is widely accepted. That creates potential value for everyone to use it. And finally, the third way we think CBDC can improve financial inclusion is through what we call programmability. That is, CBDC can allow government agencies and private sector players to program, to create smart contracts, to allow targeted policy functions. For example, welfare payment. For example, consumption coupon. For example, food stamp. By programming CBDC, those money can be precisely targeted for what kind of people can own and what kind of use this money can be utilized. For example, for food. So this potential programmability can help government agencies to precisely target their support to those people who need support. So that way can also improve financial inclusion.
Do I even need to add anything at this point? You heard it here first, folks. It's all about control. Man, I cannot wait until people who think that this isn't a problem can't buy meat, can't buy gas because their CBDC money aren't allowing them to do it. But hey, you guys have the last word here. What are your thoughts on this? And before I go, I just want to thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. Thank you for dropping a like for the video. Keep safe, and I'll see you guys on the next video.